capitalism actually turned out to be, surprise, surprise, my coffee villain origin story. Hi, my name is Misha the Barista Witch. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to talk to you about how I got here, about being the Barista Witch. I realize I've never really done a little intro video. This is gonna fast forward to the part where I get into my coffee grind. But I was at the time living in a really expensive part of the city. I was living in the West Village because I was living with an ex. And I went to a coffee shop that was on our street. It was down the street. It was called Toby's Estate. It no longer is there. I think it's turned into something else, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I went in and I ordered a dirty chai latte, an iced dirty chai. And that bitch came out to be, I think it came out to be like $12.75 or something. And this was in 2016. So let me see what, like, inflation, how much that would cost. Also, if you are new here, I am not editing these videos. I am simply posting as is, and everyone will survive. 75 in 2016 worth today. How much do you guess? Before I say this, put in the comments what you think it is. Ready? $17.74 today. That's how much my fucking coffee was. $17.74. Not including tip. So, not to quote fucking R. Kelly, but I was looking at him. He was looking at me. Me and the barista are just staring at each other. This poor barista felt so sorry that they gave me like multiple stamps on my little stamp reward card. Because at the time, I think they were like adding in espresso to the chai, adding in oat milk, adding all these things. And it cost so much fucking money that I was like, oh my God. Like, is this gonna Red Bull give me wings? Pissed. I went outside, I hate drink it. It wasn't even that good, but I just drank it because I was like, I'm not drinking this. And after I tipped the barista because I wanted to give them a decent tip, I basically spent over $20 on one drink. Okay? I wanted to set so many things on fire. So then I also, like a few months or later, short while later, but the same like calendar period, I did my own taxes because I always do my own taxes. And I saw how much money I was spending per month on coffee. And I was like, girl, I wasn't going crazy doing like dirty chai lattes, but I was doing like, a $5 cup of coffee every day, which adds up 5 times 30. Like that's a lot of fucking money just on coffee. And sometimes I would get a pastry, I'm tipping. I was easily spending $7, $8. And at the time, like, $7, $8 here or there, it doesn't seem like it, but it does add up very quickly. So I was like, okay, this can't run. So I was teaching yoga at a studio at the time. It was on Bleecker Street in the city. It has since burned down in the pandemic. It mysteriously burned down, even though right before the pandemic, it had changed hands to a different owner. And that owner was, completely useless and really did not know how to run a business. There's this thing with yoga studios where sometimes it's someone who likes yoga. They really love the idea of having a yoga studio, but they don't actually know how or even want to run a business. That's a different story. Let me actually write that down. Write that down. So I walked to my absolute, to this day still, favorite coffee shop in the world, Puerto Rico Coffee Emporium. And hold up, I don't have pants on, so I'm just gonna cover this for a second while I go get something. Oh wait, I don't have it anymore. I was gonna get a picture that someone gave me painted, but it's gone. Look, Puerto Rico, Porto. It is family owned. They have been around for over 100 years. And how the space, like the coffee shop, even caught my eye is I was walking by to go to yoga, and I just smelled the most amazing of coffee. And I look and I just see bags and bags and bags of beans of coffee. And I was like, what is this magical fucking place? And so I went in and I was just like, like hearing colors and like seeing sound. It was brilliant. And then my teacher, my Ashtanga teacher, I joined for something called coffee time, which was after we would have practice, a group of us would go just walk down the street to get coffee, and we would sit out on the benches and just chat. And it was a really, really, really nice way to have community. We see, as an Ashtangi, we see the same people every single day, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're talking. We may say, good morning, have a good day, see you tomorrow. And that's usually, or how was your practice? But that's usually the extent of combos, because people come in, they do the practice, they go home. Boom. So we would have coffee time and actually get to know each other. Amazing. So I started going there more frequently. And then I was like, you know what? Then I had that crazy, experience of paying $17, $18, $20 for one fucking coffee. Did my taxes, saw how much I was spending a month on coffee, and was like, India Irie, you need to get it together. Like, I was bugging. So I decided I'm going to start making coffee at home. I love coffee. I'm going to start making my coffee at home. And I brought myself a French press, my first ever coffee maker, this guy. I bought this machine. Yes, I have a French press tattooed on my arm. And I literally fell asleep. My muscles, I fell asleep while getting it. That's a whole different story. But I got my French press. It was a Bodum French press. I got a little grinder, a little like blade grinder. I didn't know anything about burr grinder, and I ordered it just got some beans. And I remember I was going crazy. I was like, at the time I was into flavored coffee, like they would flavor the beans, and Puerto Rico they still do have like chocolate flavored and mint, and I would blend it and make like a mint chocolate lattes. Exactly. With like brown sugar and oat milk. I was going to town. And then my dad got me for Christmas that year, when he saw how like enthusiastic, I think I have somewhere, also I think my ex at the time had like a mocha pot. I was making mocha pot coffee, but my dad got me for Christmas that year my Chemex, my pour over coffee maker, and that was a game changer. So I started getting into just making coffee at home. And it was initially a way for me just to save money, because New York City is expensive as fuck, bro. Again, this coffee after tip and tax and all that was over $20 fucking dollars. It like incited violence. I started hearing voices like the Green Goblin. Like, I'm not joking. I started like, I was like hearing like chanting of like, like, bro, it fucked me up. But that happy accident of fucking capitalism got me into just being more conscientious with my spending, and just being like, we can't do this. Like, every now and then I will, get a coffee with a friend, but it is very, very, very rare, even to this day, a decade later, that I will go get coffee out. If anything, if I'm out, I probably will get a matcha, because I don't prepare matcha at home. I know, like, I have an addictive personality, and when I like something, I like latch onto it. Like, if a new album comes out, I will listen to it ad nauseum. Like, I have What Would Beyonce Do tattooed on my hand. Like, when I like something, I like it. This is why I don't do drugs. I don't do hard drugs, because I know myself. I think I would like it a little too much. I digress. So I started preparing my coffee at home, and then eventually, over the panorama, the pandemic, the Panini Express, the Pandora's Box, TikTok became like more popular. And at the time, I was working as a true crime researcher for true crime like TV shows and documentaries and podcasts. So for like Netflix, HBO, History Channel, MTV, Hulu, like doing that, like calling courthouses and whatever. And I was isolated at home, and I found myself getting really distracted with scrolling like on TikTok, like just being like trapped on the app. And so I decided to start like body doubling, but by myself. So I set up my phone with like the front facing camera on a time lapse, just so, and I don't know, I got this advice from someone, but just to like, one, get my phone out of my hands so that I wasn't constantly using it to text or scroll when I should be working. And two, as like a legit mirror, so that when I watch the time lapse back, I could see like, oh, I got distracted here. Oh, I could like actually observe myself of like how I was working. It was a great thing to try. Then one day, I don't know, I just got the idea to I think I just was lonely and just wanted to try and like just build community and talk to people. I decided to start streaming on TikTok, coffee time. It's probably where most of you have seen me streaming on TikTok, and now I stream on Twitch, I stream on Patreon, I stream on YouTube, I stream. And I would just make coffee myself with other people, and people would always ask me questions about like, oh, how do you like your coffee? How do you prepare your coffee? How are you making it? And I was just trying to be helpful and answer questions about coffee. And it formed community. And someone way back when, I don't even remember who at this point, like just organically said, we're like a cafe coven. The name stuck. I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Then I started dating a man who, I'm not joking when I tell you the story, like once he said this thing, I was like, this is exactly why we started dating. But beautiful man, like in the bartending, like nightlife industry. So he already kind of had like this creative mindset. Like he also was like tangentially like into social media, but not as much as me. And at the time, my screen name was just like my name, like it's Misha Iman. And I felt like, yeah, that's my name, but I was like, I want like a brand identity. Like I feel like that doesn't really encompass like me fully. Like I started getting into tarot. Someone gifted me a tarot deck for Christmas one year, and I was just like, whoa. And before that, I did not fuck with tarot because I got back in the past, 2 different tarot readings that like predicted something really crazy, and I was like afraid of tarot because it was like accurate in a scary way. But I got gifted a cat themed tarot deck, and I was like, okay, sure, why not? And then one day I started talking to someone, and she was like, I follow this tarot reader on YouTube. Her name is Vanessa Samonia. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name, but she's this like Swedish South African woman, or she's South African? She's amazing. And I took her like tarot course online, which was a bit pricey for me at the time over the Panorama. And I ordered her deck, but I just started really getting into tarot. And I just got like obsessed with it. And then I ordered another deck for myself, like the original Raider E. Waite Smith deck, the circular one that I'm using right now over on Patreon, where I'm literally teaching tarot for $7 hairs, much cheaper than the tarot course that I took. And I think I just had the tarot deck like next to me one day, and then someone was streaming, was like, oh, is that tarot? Like, are you into tarot? And I was like, oh yeah. No, can I ask a question? I was like, sure. Then I just started taking tarot questions while making coffee. This the guy, all of a sudden he just goes, you're just such a little barista witch. And I was like, it was like do 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 do, like it was all coming together. Like I started like a beautiful mining my life. I just saw symbols everywhere, and I literally thought, I was like, this is why this man is in my life. And at the time, I like thought I was in love. I was like, he's amazing, but I was like, this is why. So he can give me my help, like my name. And then everything changed from there. And then I had this dream of making my own coffee. One day, I was like, one day I'm gonna make my own coffee. And I kept like every year, whenever I would write my goals for the year of what I wanted to do, that would be one of my goals. That was one of my goals that I wrote down of like, I am going to make my own coffee. And I specifically said, I'm going to make my own custom house coffee blend with Puerto Rico Coffee Emporium in the Village. And then I woke up one day in 2026 and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And last year, 2025, I did some like witchy ritual of making wishes and doing like a ritual for the wishes. And one of the wishes, because I did write down, I have my master sheet. I'm looking at it, says, I made a custom coffee blend with Puerto Rico. And I put it on my list. And here we are. My Bava brew. Bava in Vedic astrology and Jyotish means house. So this is my house brew, my house blend. This is what a Vedic chart looks like. It's these boxes. Each one is a house. So it's my house blend. And how we did it was with the amazing Peter and Allie and Matthew. The whole team, just genuinely awesome people. Like, I'm seriously just awesome people. Funny and just quirky and cool and knowledgeable and enthusiastic. And I like kept wanting to email. Actually, I remember I DM'd or I texted Allie about it like last year, 2025, early. And she was like, yeah, just email, Peter, da-da-da. And I just let that sit. Like, I kept the message from her unread on my phone for like a year. Because I don't know why. I just felt like, oh, who am I to do this? Imposter syndrome. The timing wasn't right. I had other things going on. Finances weren't financing. I don't know. But one day I just like was like, fuck it, Misha. I kept putting it like so many times on so many different to-do lists to send that email. And then finally I was just like, fuck it. And I just sent the fucking email. Forgot about it. A couple of days later, I get the longest, most enthusiastic, most positive response back. When I thought I wasn't gonna get anything back. And he was like, this sounds so cool and so exciting. Like how you're blending. Let's come in, let's do a cupping. We go in, he had us, and there's a vlog coming behind the scenes, but he had us blind taste 6 different types of beans. And he had us try it when it was really, really hot. He prepared it pour over, but he had us try it like the average consumer would. When it was really hot, when it was like warm, like room temperature, and then when it was cold. So that we could get the different flavor profiles, because the coffee tastes different at each of those stages. So that we can really discern, like, do we like it? We did this trying it 3 different times with 6 different types of coffee. No one used the spit bucket. I was like, like vibrating into the next dimension. And I was pulling tarot. I got like the most positive, auspicious like tarot cards while doing it, and was like doing tarot readings for everyone while there. I remember the transit for that day was incredible. It was just overall amazing. And I got to bring my teacher, who is the one who even like solidified me going to that coffee shop all the time. It was just so I'm getting goosebumps. It was just so full circle and beautiful. But I ended up really liking number 6 out of the 6 different blends, number 6 and number 4. Number 6 was just straight up Colombian Suprema, just as is. And he was like, you guys chose the cream of the crop, of course. Number 4 was like this like blend, it's like Central American blend. And it was like a bit weird and like funky, but delicious. But I was like, okay, I have like a really diverse palate for coffee, and I have a love for coffee. So I don't know if the average person buying my coffee would like it. Like, and he was like, well, you want to do what's true to you, you know? You don't want to pander to everyone. Like, doing Colombian Suprema would be not pandering, but you're just, people are going to like it. But you want to do something that's true to you. And I was like, okay. So he gave me the samples, and he's like, go home, try the samples, think about it. And so for like the next couple of like a week or so, I was just making so much coffee and just preparing it different ways. Mocha pot, pour over, just going crazy. And then I was like, what if number 4 and number 6 had a baby? And I tried it and I was like, oh my God, this is fucking delicious. And so I quickly messaged Peter and I was like, number 4, number 6, make them have a baby and try it. And he was like, okay. And he tried it. He was like, this is your coffee. I'm obviously biased. And I have given this coffee, like just samples, to different people in my life who I know are really, really persnickety and picky. And like, when you think of a coffee snob, I've given it to the coffee snobs in my life. And I was like, please be so fucking honest with me. This is not the time to, oh, it's so good, participation medal. If it fucking sucks, tell me. If it's good, tell me. But just tell me. I won over every single coffee snob in my life. Every single coffee snob in my life. It's gotten to the point now where if I go out and try other coffee, I try it like the hot, the warm, the cold, and it's fine. But I'm always craving my coffee. It's gotten to the point now, because I sell this when I'm like at the yoga studios. People know I'm the coffee girl. Someone came up to me and was like, oh, are you the witch? Are you the Jyotishi? Are you the coffee girl? This is what people... And I was like, yeah. It's gotten to the point now where people, you got the coffee. I'm like, it's almost like you got the stuff. I'm like, yes, I have it. Just let me know. I constantly sell out. I'm constantly picking up. It's on my website if you want some, by the way. But one thing that I really like, it's a cool feature of my coffee, is this. I put a crossword on the back because as an elder millennial, 34, I grew up in the era of eating cereal and playing the games on the backs of the boxes. As an adult, this is my adult cereal. And I wanted a game on the back. Why not? But I put so much thought and intention into this. And this all started because I paid fucking $20 overpriced coffee in the city a decade ago. My point of this whole narrative is you never fucking know where that thread that you pull will lead. You don't know. Never discount anything. I firmly and honestly 1,000,000% believe everything is connected. Everything happens for a reason. None of this is fucking random. If I hadn't gone into that coffee shop and spent $20 on a fucking coffee, I genuinely don't think I would be here. If I would have kept being able to just buy coffee at a normal price and not be I don't think I would have started making coffee at home. Not with the enthusiasm that I was doing. I wouldn't have started buying all these different machines if we didn't not randomly, but end up in lockdown, which who could have predicted that would have happened? I wouldn't have started streaming, making coffee at home. I would have never done that. I would have just carried on with my life. You never fucking know. So if there is something, a goal, a dream, something in your life that you have, that you want, it could take 10 years for it to manifest. You could be like me and have Saturn, the planet of delays and obstacles and long-term goals, deeply affecting you, that make certain things in your life be delayed, have obstacles, but they're long-term. If you also want to know about that, link in the bio, etc., etc. All this is to say is don't stop. If you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have a plan, just keep going. Just keep going day by day. Even if it takes 5 minutes of you working on whatever that thing is, do it. If there's an email, a text message, a phone call you've been meaning to send that is in order to help you achieve that goal, please do it. Do it. Just do it. Just reach out to that person. Do it right now. Stop whatever else you think you have going on and just send the message. What's the worst that could happen? You'll end up in the exact same situation that you're in now, or you could end up with your own custom house coffee blend. All right. I love you all dearly. Don't let any obstacles just be obstacles. Let it be your villain origin story in a way. Okay, bye.